A great day to one and all. Welcome to the discussion of the pre-board for September 2023 Philippine Licensure Examination for Teachers for Mathematics Majors. I am Mr. Kim J.C. Ensho and I will be your discussant for tonight, particularly to discuss items 41 to 80 of our final coaching. So I hope you have your copies, your PDF files ready, your answer sheets ready. And again, as usual, for you to pass, you should get at least half of the items. So hopefully you will get at least 20 out of 40 items for you to pass this tonight's activity, the part na yan. And of course, for our general instructions or directions, in your answer sheet, shade the letter that corresponds to your answer. If the correct answer is not found among the choices, shade E. Okay. And let's begin with item number 41. The whole is greater than its part. It's not always true if we talk about blank sets. Is it A, infinite, B, finite, C, disjoint, or D, joint sets? Okay. Please comment your answer. The whole is greater than its part is not always true. Okay. Disjoint sets daw, sabi ng ilan sa inyo, may nagsasabing letter A, infinite sets. So I could see some of you answered letter C, whereas there is only one person who answered A, no? To those who commented. Okay. Take note, when we say infinite sets, these are sets with infinite cardinality. Finite sets have limited cardinality. When we say that two or more sets are disjoint, if they don't have any common element, and we say that two or more sets are joint if they have at least one common element. And the correct answer is, meron po tayong quote, no? Some infinities are bigger than other infinities. The whole is greater than its part is not always true if we talk about infinite sets. Letter A. Okay, let me give you an example. For example, we know that the set of natural numbers is a proper subset of the set of rational numbers. Diba? Yung natural numbers, subset lang siya ng set of rational numbers, and both of them are actually infinite. But even though that the set of natural numbers is a proper subset of the set of rational numbers, believe it or not, no, it can be proven by set theory na magkasing dami lang sila. They are both infinite sets, but they have the same cardinality. That's why some mathematicians don't like the concept of infinity, because some things become absurd when we talk about infinite sets. Letter A. Mom Fillmore got it right, but if you got it, but if you have a different answer, it's still okay po. No? It's still a learning experience for everyone. Infinite sets. Okay, 42. Consider the set of natural numbers n and the open interval or 0, 1, which has a larger cardinality. Take note, the set of natural numbers is infinite. The set of all real numbers between 0 and 1 is also infinite. Both of them are infinite sets, but which has a larger cardinality? Quote-unquote, parang saan yung hashtag mas marami sa kanila? Is it A, the set of natural numbers? Is it B, the continuum or 0, 1? No? Letter C, they have the same cardinality, or letter D, ano? Okay, tingnan natin. Lahat ata ng letter may May sumagot ng A, ng B, ng C, at saka D. Okay, ang tanong, is one of these sets greater in cardinality in terms of the other? Magkaparehas lang ba sila o hindi natin alam? Okay. Now, take note po, if you are studying number theory or set theory, you know that the cardinality of the set of natural numbers is represented by aleph null. This is a symbol. It's read as aleph null. No? And believe it or not, the cardinality of all real numbers between 0 and 1 is actually aleph 1. And tandaan po natin that in set theory, if we are dealing with infinite sets, aleph null has a smaller cardinality than aleph 1. And take note po, aleph null and aleph 1 are both infinite sets. I mean, they have both of them have infinite cardinalities, pero mas marami po yung cardinality ni aleph 1 kaysa kay aleph null. So this tells us that the cardinality of the set of natural numbers is in fact less than the cardinality of all the real numbers between 0 and 1. So ang tamang sagot po ay letter B. So imagine yung lahat ng numbers between 0 and 1, mas marami pala sila kaysa set of natural numbers. And in fact, there are infinite number of infinite sets. I hope na hindi po nagulo yung utak natin because sometimes it's difficult to grasp things in infinity. And this is actually proven, I believe, by Georg Cantor, who is the father of set theory. That's why some infinities have larger cardinalities with other infinities. Kasi kung mapapansin nyo, ay, maliit lang naman to pero mas marami pala sila. And this could be proven by set theory po. Letter B. Alright, so lahat ng sumagot ng B, you got it right. 43. Consider A and B as subsets of U, which is your universal set, by the way. Which of the following is the same as the complement of A union B? Did you go for A, B, C, or D? Tignan po ninyo. Alright. It seems na many of you answered letter A. So you're thinking that this is equivalent to A complement, intersection B complement. Okay. So meron din sumagot ng ibang letter. Alright. Let's see who got it right. And actually, meron po tayong tinatawag na De Morgan's Law or De Morgan's Theorem. And this concerns the complement of unions or intersections. That is, you could prove, using truth tables if you wish, that if you have the complement of A intersection B, it is the same as the union of the complements of these two sets. So parang dinidistribute mo lang yung complement, pero baliktarin mo, yung union, yung intersection ay magiging union. In a similar manner, if you will take the complement of the union of two sets, so yung mangyayari po dito is, kunin mo lang po yung complement ng dalawang sets. At saka yung union ay maging intersection. That's why notice nyo po, there's symmetry. Yung intersection becomes union, and yung union becomes intersection. And this is actually one of them. So if you answered letter A, that is, the complement of A union B is the same as the intersection of the complements of the two sets. I hope it's clear po. Salamat. So again, take note nyo lang po yung pattern. We will no longer show the proof because it's a bit long. But we can prove this by truth tables if you wish. 44. If the universal set is 1, 2, 3 until 10, all the way until 10, A is a set 1, 2, 3, 7, and B is a set with elements 3, 7, 9. What is A prime union B prime? Okay, 43, for 44, we have letter C. Okay, so we have at least three of you, no, who answered letter C. Five, I mean, sorry. Now, anong rule kaya yung ginawa nyo dito? Siguro yung ginawa ng iba is kinuha yung complement ni A, tapos kinuha yung complement ni B, tapos ni-union nila. That's actually correct as well, no? So, but actually, we could also utilize the Morgan's law here, di po ba? Kasi nga, based on the previous slide, the complement of the intersection of two sets is equal to the union of their complements. That's why, dahil yung given is yung ganito, pwede pala siyang i-express as the complement of the quantity A intersection B. So this is your universal set. Your A is 1, 2, 3, 7. Your B is 3, 7, 9. So kunin po natin, di ba, yung sa loob, A intersection B. Ano po, anong elements po ang intersection ni A at saka ni B? Paki-comment po. What is A intersection B? When we say intersection again, it's the set of common elements. Okay, sabi ni Ma'am Jeline, 3, 7 daw, and you are actually correct. So A intersection B is the set containing the elements 3 and 7. At dahil nga complement, so we will remove, so complement means it's the difference of your universal set and your A intersection B here, which means it is a set of all elements in U, but are not, it's a set of all elements in U that are not in the intersection of A and B. So dito po, kunin lang po natin yung 3 at saka 7, and we will have 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and 10, letter C. Good job, everyone. Okay, I hope it's clear. And if you have questions, please feel free to chat. 45. Suppose A is a set containing 2, 4, 10. We could say that 1 blank A. Okay. This is read as an element. Here, 2, not an element. 3, subset. Is it A, 1 only, B, 2 only, C, 1 and 3, or D, 2 and 3? All right, I can help but see a lot of B's coming from the group. Take note, we could say that 1 is actually incorrect, no? Because we could see that 1 is not found in this set A. So therefore, 1 is wrong. 2, for this 2 here, 1 is not, since 1 is not found here, so 1 is not an element of A. So 2 is correct. 1 is not a subset of A because in the first place, 1 is not a set. Therefore, we could see from here that only letter B option is correct. All right, B. Good job. 46. In set theory, what do you call the set of all X in set A which are not in set B? Is it A minus B, B minus A, C, A prime, or D, A intersection B? All right. There are some who answered letter A. Some of you answered letter C. Okay. Now, let us reveal the answer. Take note, this is with respect to A and B only. We are not having the universal set here, no? So therefore, if you have this, that we actually have the set complement or set difference. That is the complement of a set B with respect to set A, or in symbols, A minus B is the set of all x found in A but not in B. That's why the correct answer here is letter A. Yung hugot dyan, simple lang. Halimbawa, iniwan ka. Simple lang yung hugot dyan. Bakit mo ko pinagpalit sa iba? Bakit? Ano bang meron siya na wala ako? Ganon yung hugot. Anong meron si A na wala si B? That's a set complement or difference. Grabe siya, no? Yan, tumbling lang po tayo. Take note, we cannot answer letter C, A prime. Because A prime or A complement means U minus A. It's with respect to your universal set po, yung ating letter C. That's why letter A po yung tamang sagot. A minus B. Anong meron si A na wala si B? Anong meron sa kanya? Bakit ka ipinagpalit sa malapit? Kidding aside. Okay. Thank you po. I hope it's clear. 47. Which of the following condition or conditions is or are necessary for sets A and B to be equal? Is it A? Oo nga, no, wala si Ma'am Luella. Nako. How do you read this symbol po? Sa number 1, how do you read this symbol? This is read as what? It starts with the letter S. Very good. Tama po kayo, Ma'am Ellen May, no? Sir Edward. This is read as subset. Is it 1? A should be a subset of B. 2, B should be a subset of A. 3, A minus B is non-empty. Is it 1, 2, 1 and 2, or 1, 2, and 3? And many of you answered letter C, 1 and 2. 1 and 2 nga ba? And if you answered 1 and 2, you are actually correct. Bakit? Because two sets A and B are actually equal, or in symbols, A equals B, if and only if A is a subset of B and B is a subset of A. In other words po, ang bawat set is a subset of the other. For example po, tingnan po ninyo, for A, 1, 2, and 3, and with B with elements 3, 2, and 1. By the way, for two sets to be equal, especially for finite sets, order does not matter. Okay? So we could see no, na lahat ng elements ni A ay nasa B. So A is a subset of B. And lahat ng elements ni B ay makikita din po natin sa A. So B is a subset of A. And so we could say that these two are actually equal. That's why in set theory, if you are trying to prove two sets to be equal, then you have to show that each one of them is a subset of the other. Letter C. Nakikipagbardagulan daw si ma'am. All right. 48. Given sets A and B, it was known that A intersection B is a null set. What is true of these two sets? They are A disjoint, B joint, C equal, or D equivalent. Okay. Yung intersection nilang dalawa ay null set. So may nakikita po akong maraming sumagot ng A. Meron din naman pong sumagot ng C. Okay. Ano kaya ang tama sa kanila? And the correct answer is dun, 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 dun. We call them disjoint sets. That is, if two sets do not have any element in common, meaning wala, yung intersection po nila ay null set o wala, then they are called disjoint sets. Halimbawa po, if you have set A here with elements 1, 4, 9, and we have set B with elements 3, 7, 8, makikita po natin, no, na yung intersection nilang dalawa ay null set. Kasi walang element sa A na common sa B. That's why A and B here are examples of disjoint sets. So letter A po. Okay. If A is a set with elements 1, 2, 3, B with elements 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which of the following is true? Check no po. Is it A? B is a subset of A. B minus A is non-empty. Is a null set, sorry. A is a subset of B, or D, A minus B is 4, 5. The set with elements 4 and 5. All right? May sumagot ng D. Meron ding sumagot ng letter C. Pero karamihan po ata letter C. Let's see kung tama po kayo. If you answered letter A, B is a subset of A, this is actually false. Bakit? Kasi hindi lahat ng elements ni B ay makikita sa A. B minus A is a null set is also false. Bakit? Di ba kapag sinabi nating B minus A, yung hugot kanina, anong meron si B na wala si A? Si B ay merong 4, 5, di ba? Na wala si A. So dapat yung B minus A is the set containing the elements 4 and 5. Yung letter C naman po ay actually tama because all elements of A are found in B. So letter C is the correct answer. A minus B is the set containing 4, 5? No. It's false because since all elements of A are found in B, it follows therefore that A minus B should be a null set. Letter C ang tamang sagot. I hope na clear po sa atin. 50. The set of all natural numbers between 4 and 5. Which of the following is the answer to this? Did you go for 1 and 2? Take a look at 1, 2, and 3, by the way. Did you go for 1 and 2? 1 and 3? 2 and 3? Or 1, 2, and 3? Okay. Take note. The answer here is a null set, di po ba? Because there's no natural number between 4 and 5. Pero yung tanong po is, paano nga ba yung tamang pagsulat ng null set? Pwede bang 1, 2, 3? Saan sa kanila? Dalawa lang ba sa kanila? O tatlo silang lahat? Okay. Letter A daw. Okay. If you answered letter A, you are actually correct. Bakit po? The null set could be symbolized as empty brace, these two braces, no? With nothing inside, with no element inside. You could also write it as phi, no? But please do not write null set. Do not combine them into a single expression. Don't say this. Number 3 here is not a way to write your null set. Because in the first place, 3 is not a null set. Because it is a set that has one element, which is phi. Therefore, you could write null sets either using 1 or 2 here, but not 3. Letter A. I hope po na clear sa atin ha. Careful po. Yung null set, ito lang dalawa. Huwag niyo pong gawin to. Please don't try this at home. Okay? Because that's actually incorrect. Salamat po. 51. Find the cardinality of the set A with elements, 38, 43, 48, and so on, all the way until 188. Okay. Marami po nagsasabing 31. Okay. Letter C daw. Siguro yung iba, I'm not sure, no? Baka nilista ng iba. Ano pong ginawa ninyo? Nilista niyo po ba lahat? Kinout niyo po ba isa-isa? Okay. Sabi ni Ma'am Felmore et Chavez, arithmetic sequence formula daw. Same with Sir Chad, with Ma'am Ellen Me, with Ma'am Jeline. And I do agree with that as well, daw. Because kung inyo pong mapapansin, there is a common difference of 5. Meaning, as you go from one term to the next, you are actually adding 5 each time. So this is an arithmetic sequence with the first term or a sub 1 of 38. The last term, we don't know what it is. Let's call it a sub n, which is 188. And the common difference is 5. Why 5? Kasi if you subtract the second and the first, 5. The third by the second, 5, and so on. And if you could still recall, ito po yung ating formula sa arithmetic sequence. Eh, grabe siya. Formula sa Excel. Sana all. Okay. Ito po yung ating formula sa ating arithmetic sequence. No? So we have a sub n equals a sub 1 plus the quantity n minus 1 times d. By substitution po, by the way, we are looking here for n, or the number of terms. No? By substitution, we have 188 equals 38 plus the quantity n minus 1 times 5. Subtracting 38 both sides gives you 150 equals n minus 1 times 5. Yung iba siguro sa inyo nag-multiply ng 5, but in my case, I did not distribute the 5 anymore. I went directly to dividing both sides by 5, and that gives us 30 equals n minus 1. And add 1 both sides, giving you 31 as the value of n. Thus, this means to say that there are 31 terms in this arithmetic sequence. Letter C. I hope na clear po sa atin. 52. Geometry na po tayo. Lines CA and CB are tangent to circle O at points A and B respectively. If the length of segment CA is 10 cm, how long is segment CB? Did you go for 30, 5, 10, or 20? All right. Wow. Marami pong convinced sa letter C. Bakit kaya letter C yung sagot nila? Because meron po tayong tinatawag na, di ba? Meron tayong theorem involving two tangents. Like this po. So, when we say tangent, no, if this is your circle and if you have a point outside of the circle, at the exterior of your circle, and if you connect it, if you draw a segment, for example, no, that creates a right angle here, then this segment here is actually a tangent. So a tangent here with respect to a circle, it's a line that touches the circle at exactly one point, no? Like this. And we have a theorem that states that if you have an external point, then you can draw two tangents with respect to the same circle. And the two tangent theorem states that if we draw two lines from the same point which lies outside the circle, such that both lines are tangent to the circle, then their lengths are the same. Hence, CA and CB should be both equal to 10. Letter C. Yes. Okay, nag-HL ka, sir. Okay din naman yung HL like congruence, pero siguro baka prove mo pa, no? Prove mo na they are both right angles, and by the CPCTC, you are able to show that AC is equal to BC. Okay, thank you po, Sir Chat. Grabe siya, galing. 53. What is the perimeter in units of the bigger triangle if the ratio of the corresponding sides of two similar triangles is 2:3, and the perimeter of the smaller triangle is 128 units? Did you go for 182, 192, 215, or 512? Grabe. Many are convinced sa B. And take note po, no? Let X be the perimeter of your bigger triangle here. And take note, we also have a theorem that states, if you have two similar triangles, then the ratio of their corresponding sides is also the same as the ratio of their perimeters. That's why 2:3, 2 here, that of the smaller triangle, its perimeter is with respect to 128 is to x. So that's why meron po tayong proportion na to. And remember, in a proportion, the product of the means is equal to the product of the extremes. No? So yung extremes, yung nasa labas, yung 2 at saka x. That's why ang product nito ay 2x. Yung nasa loob naman po, yung dalawang nasa loob ay tinatawag po nating means. No? So 3 times 128, which is 384. And we have to equate them because of that they are equal actually. Dividing both sides by 2 gives us x equals 192. Hence, the perimeter of the larger triangle should be 192 units. Letter B. 54. In the figure, CE is a perpendicular bisector of chord AB. If line segment AB is 24 and the radius of the circle is 13, how far in units is the chord from the center? Did you go for 4, 5, 8, or 10? Okay, many answered B. Let's see. Tama nga kaya ang B na 5. So yung hinahanap po natin ganito siya, di ba? So dahil nga 13 yung radius at saka AB ay 24, ito po yung AB. At dahil meron pong right angle dito, then it is actually a theorem, no? Na if you draw, let's say, if you draw a segment that's perpendicular to a chord, then it bisects that chord. That's why this 24 divided by 2, we have 12. So AE is 12 and EB here is 12. And of course, your radius here is 13. What we're looking for is the distance of the center of the circle to the chord here. So we're looking for this, and I represent this length OE as x. And since you have here a right triangle, by the Pythagorean theorem, we could say that 12 squared plus x squared is equal to 13 squared. So 144 plus x squared equals 169. Subtract both sides by 144 gives x squared equals 25. And extracting the positive square root only, because there's no such thing as a negative length for now, we get x equals 5. Therefore, we could see that OE here is 5 units long, or the distance of the center to the chord is 5 units. Letter B. Good job, guys. 55. If circle A is congruent to circle B and CE is congruent to FH and DA is equal to 2x plus 5 and GB is equal to x plus 10, what is x? Did you go for 4, 5, 8, or 10? Letter B daw. Take note that these two circles are congruent. You draw these two that are also congruent. Then therefore, we could say that AD should be congruent to BG as well. So we have to equate the 2x plus 5 with x plus 10. Hence, this is AD and this is BG. Okay, give me a second. Okay, DA equals BG. So 2x plus 5 is equal to x plus 10. And I subtracted both sides by x, no? Ito, yung 5 na to ay naging minus 5 sa right side. So 2x minus x simplifies to x, and 10 minus 5 simplifies to 5. Hence, the correct answer here po is 5. The correct answer is B, I mean. Sorry for that. Thank you. 56. Angle ABC is an inscribed angle. If arc AC is 60 degrees, what is angle ABC? Is it 30, 60, 90, or 120? Okay, we have letter A. And when we say inscribed angle po, no, an inscribed angle is an angle formed by two chords that whose vertex is a point on the circle. So ito po halimbawa yung illustration ng inscribed angle ABC with the intercepted arc here as 60 degrees. And tandaan po natin, it's in fact a theorem that the measure of an inscribed angle is 1/2 the measure of its intercepted arc. That's why if this is 60 degrees, so 60 degrees divided by 2 gives 30 degrees. Letter A. So here po, it's 30 degrees. I hope na nakuha po natin. Thank you. Good job po. Yes, Sir Chad, thank you po. Inscribed angle is half the measure of the intercepted arc. 57. In the figure, AC and EC are secants. When we say secant with respect to your circle, it is a line that intersects the circle at two different points. So this is a secant. This is another secant. And these two secants intersect at point C, which is at the exterior of your circle. If arc AE is 130 degrees, arc BD is 20 degrees, find angle ACE in degrees. Did you go for 35, 45, 55, or 65? Okay, we have the outside angle theorem. Letter C daw. Okay, let's see kung tama po kayo. And actually, no, yung if you draw two secants kasi, may chance na mag-intersect two distinct secants. They could intersect at the interior, at the point on the circle, or at the exterior of the circle. If they intersect at the exterior of a circle, if you are looking for this angle here, formed by the intersection, all you have to do is subtract the farther or the larger arc by the nearer or the smaller arc and divide by 2. That is actually a theorem. No? That's why 130 degrees minus 20 degrees is 110 degrees divided by 2, giving us 55 degrees. So if you answered letter C, you got it right. All right. So ito po yung 55 degrees. Good job, everyone. 58. Chords DB and CA intersect at point S, where AS is 8 cm, SC is 3 cm, DS is 6 cm. How long is SB in cm? Okay, according kay Ma'am Fel, no, it's the intersecting chords theorem. Yes, that's actually correct po. No? That's the name of the theorem, intersecting chords theorem. No? So, what does the intersecting chords theorem say? Power of a point, okay. The intersecting chords theorem states that what? It states that if you have two chords that intersect at the interior of a circle, then the product of the segments of one chord is equal to the product of the lengths of the segments of the other chord, which means DS times SB is equal to the length of AS times the length of SC. With that, the intersecting chords theorem states that the products of the lengths of the line segments on each chord are equal. So DS times SB equals AS times SC, I mean. Okay, so let me correct this one first. So with that, we have 6 times SB equals 8 times 3. And of course, the 8 times C is 24. So 6 times SB equals 24. Dividing both sides by 6 gives us the length of segment SB as 4 units or 4 cm. Letter B. Okay, thank you din po, Ma'am Philmore. Okay, good job, everyone. Next. In the figure, FO equals 6, OC equals 8, FL equals 3, and and LT equals W. Find the length of W. Is it 20, 21, 24, or 25? So you see this time, no, we have a power of a point theorem. We have two secant segments that intersect at the exterior of your circle. So paano po ito? Letter D daw. Okay. So far, we have a few people, no? We have, yeah, power of an external point. Yes. Okay. And what does this theorem states? Okay, so if we have this one, that is the product of the length of the externals. If you have two secants, no, segments that intersect at an external point, then the length of the external segment of one secant multiplied by the total length of that secant is equal to the length of the external segment of the secant of the second secant multiplied by the total length of that second secant. Or in symbols, so FO, the length of FO times the length of this total here is FO plus OC equals the external segment FL multiplied by FL plus LP. So LP here is represented by W. By substitution, that's 6 times 6 plus 8 equals 3 times 3 plus W. Simplifying the left-hand side gives 84 equals, then by distributing, we have 3W plus 9. I subtracted both sides by 9. Naging 75 equals 3W, and dividing both sides by 3 gives us W, or the length of LT, as 25. Very good. Letter D. All right. So far, so good. I hope na nakuha po natin. 60. XZ is a secant and XY is a tangent to a circle. If WZ is 20 and XW is 4, XY has a length of n. What is the value of n? Did you go for 6 square root of 3, 4 square root of 6, 5 square root of 15, or 8 square root of 2? Kanina, dalawang chord. Kanina, dalawang secant. Ngayon, isang secant, isang tangent. Okay, we have, may sumagot ng letter E, which is 4 square root of 5 daw. Meron namang sumagot ng B, which is 4 square root of 6. Okay? B, wag po kayong mahiya, ha? Don't worry. This is a learning community and we encourage everyone to give their answers. Okay, let's see kung sino yung tama. Tandaan po ninyo, if you have a secant segment and a tangent segment that intersect at an external point, then the length, the square of the length of the tangent is equal to the product of the external segment of the secant multiplied its total length. So yung labas times the entire length. With such, that's why I arrived to this one, the length of xy squared equals the length of xw multiplied by the total, which is xw plus wz. By substitution po, yung xy ay n, no? So n squared equals yung labas 4 times the whole thing, which is 20 plus 4 or 24. So simplifying the left-hand side, we have, the right-hand side, it's 96. So n squared equals 96. And therefore, if you take the positive square root or the principal square root, you will get n equals the square root of 96. For the meantime, I disregarded the negative. Okay? And that is 4 square root of 6. Letter B. So careful po tayo, okay? 4 square root of 6. All right. Let's proceed. Okay, let's have item number 61. What is the area in square units of the quadrilateral formed by the points 0, 0, 4, 0, 5, 3, and 1, 3? Did you go for 12, 15, 18, or 21? Okay, letter A daw. Okay, sabi ni Sir Chad, parallelogram daw siya. And tama nga ba? If you plot these points perfectly or correctly, it would look something. It would look like this. And I agree with Sir Chad, no? Nang sinabi niyang parallelogram ito. In fact, it's a parallelogram with a base of 4 units and a height of 3 units. And we know that the formula in finding the area of a parallelogram is base times height. So since your base here is 4 units and your height is 3 units, then 4 times 3, its area is 12 square units. Letter B. All right. I hope na nakuha po natin. 62. The ratio of an interior to an exterior angle of a regular polygon is 3:2. How many sides does this polygon have? Did you go for 5, 6, 7, or 8? Okay. Marami yung sumagot ng A. Okay. Siguro yung sagot yung A, siguro ito yung ginawa nyo. 3 plus 2 equals 5. Ganun ba yon? I hope hindi. Okay. So many are convinced na letter A po siya. And let's see. Take note po natin ha, in a regular polygon, each interior angles are congruent and exterior angles are also congruent. And we have to note that an interior angle and an exterior angle are supplementary, I mean. That's why if I let X to be the GCF of the two angles, then the interior angle will be 3x and the exterior angle will be 2x. So their sum is 5x and equate that to 180 degrees. Dividing both sides by 5, we solve for x as 36. Okay? Pero hindi pa po natin na-solve yung problem kasi yung hinahanap ay number of sides, di po ba? Ngayon, since alam po natin na yung exterior angle ay 2x, so the actual angle measure of the exterior angle is 2 times 36 degrees, which is 72 degrees. And pwede rin interior angle yung kunin mo. Sa akin, mas preferred ko ang exterior angle. Dahil meron po tayong formula that for exterior angle, the 360, the measure of an exterior angle of a regular polygon is 360 degrees divided by n, where n there is the number of sides of that polygon. So with that, by manipulation of the equation, n, or the number of sides, is equal to 360 degrees divided by the measure of an exterior angle. So n is equal to 360 degrees divided by 72 degrees, which gives us 5 sides. So this is actually a pentagon, letter A. I'm sorry if it could not be seen, but it's letter A. Salamat po. I hope you got it. 63. Consider right triangle ABC with angle B as 90 degrees. Let B be a point on segment AC such that BD is perpendicular to AC. If AB equals 3 and BC equals 4, how long is BD? Did you go for 2.2, 2.4, 2.6, or 2.8? Wow! Mukhang nagkakaisa po tayong lahat ngayon. Ang sagot po natin ay letrang B. Lahat po ng nag-comment, B ang sagot. Okay, ano kaya yung technique? Yung mahalaga dito siguro is marunong tayong mag-construct, no? Muna mag-draw ng figure. So this is how the figure looks like actually. So this is a right triangle and D is a point on AC such that BD is perpendicular to AC. So yung hinahanap po natin, gaano nga ba kahaba si BD? Okay? Now, ito po yung ginawa ko. Yung ginawa ko po is, alam ko pong right triangle ito, di ba? Si ABC. And AC is actually a hypotenuse of your right triangle. So I use the Pythagorean theorem. No? That is, the length of AC squared equals 3 squared plus 4 squared. And the left side, the right-hand side simplifies to 25. So the length of AC squared equals 25. So getting the positive square root both sides only because we don't have a negative length. So the length of AC is 5 units. All right. Pero tandaan po natin okay, tandaan po natin. 'Di ba? To get the area of your triangle, we have the formula base times height divided by 2, no? So ito po yung base 4 times 3 divided by 2. Pero tingnan po ninyo, 'di ba? BD is perpendicular to AC. It could also mean that AC could serve as the base. BD could also serve as the height. 'Di ba? So imagine nyo pong pinapaikot-ikot nyo ito. Pwede nyo pong magawing AC kaya ng ulo ng ibang tao. Char lang. AC could serve as the base and BD could serve as its height. So therefore, by using the formula for the area of your triangle, so again, base, that's 5, times BD, which is the height, all over 2. With such, the 3 times 4, I multiplied both sides by 2, by the way, so and simplified. So 12 is equal to 5 times the length of BD. Dividing both sides by 5 gives you 2.4 as the length of segment BD. Letter B. Okay, tama po, pinaikot-ikot lang po, no? You can actually rotate this figure to realize na, AC could be a base. Okay, BD could be the height. Sana po masaya ka na, Sir Francisco. Okay. Next. The diagonal of a square is 8 cm long. What is its area in centimeters squared? Did you go for 30, 32, 36, or 40? Okay. So marami pong sumagot ng B, which is 32. I'm curious kung ano pong ginawa ninyo. Siguro yung ginawa ng iba ay kinuha nyo po yung length ng bawat sides ng square. At after mong kunin yung length ng side ng square, square nyo, di po ba? Okay. Okay, so yan, no? According to Sir Chad, D over square root of 2 then square. But actually, there is also another alternative for that. Tandaan po natin that diagonals of squares, rhombi or rhombuses, and kites are perpendicular with one another. And if we are going to use their diagonals, their area could be found by using the formula A equals D sub 1 times D sub 2 all over 2. In other words, to get the length or the area, of your square, rhombus, or kite, just multiply the lengths of the two diagonals, then divide by 2. Pero alam naman po natin yung sa square, di ba? Equal naman po yung lengths ng dalawang diagonals. That's why 8 cm times 8 cm all over 2 gives you 32 centimeters squared, and that is letter B. Thank you. Good job. 65. A regular pentagon and a regular hexagon share a common side as shown. A and B are connected. What is the measure of angle CBA in degrees? Did you go for 24, 27, 29, or 30? Okay, may sumagot ng letter E. Meron ding D. Okay, Ma'am Yaka. Okay, thank you po. Okay. Okay, so parang hati po yata tayo sa question na to, no? Parang hindi pa siguro tayo sure, no? Yung iba sa atin. Hexagon po, yeah. Yung isa hexagon, yung isa pentagon. Okay. So, marami pong ways upang isolve yung problem na to. So, yung first way ko po is, remember that these two are regular polygons. And since they share a common side, it follows po that AC and CB are actually equal dapat, di ba? Kasi they share a common side and both of them are regular polygons. So for the meantime, I let the angle measure of angle CBA as x degrees. Okay. Ngayon, ito po yung ginawa ko. I determine the angle measure of ACB because I know that this is a pentagon. I will get the measure of one inferior angle of a pentagon. And the formula is 180 degrees times number of sides minus 2 divided by the number of sides, di po ba? Yun po kung paano natin kunin yung interior angle ng isang regular polygon. Or kung gusto nyo, pwede nyo rin gamitin yung exterior angle formula. So that's why ACD is 180 degrees multiplied by the quantity 5 minus 2 all over 5 or 108 degrees. Ito po. Samantalang yung angle BCD naman or the interior angle of a hexagon will be 180 degrees times 6 minus 2 all over 6. Diba? So ito, 108. Ito, 120. And take note that angle ACD plus angle BCD plus angle ACB here are actually they are forming a circle. Dito bilog yan. So dapat 360 po yung sum nilang tatlo. So we know angle ACD, we know angle BCD. So angle ACB is equal to 360 degrees subtracted by the sum of 108 and 120 degrees, which tells us that ACB is 132 degrees. Ito po siya, ho? ACB is 132 degrees. Pero take note po, ha? We know that ACB is isosceles, which means angle BAC here and angle ABC would actually be congruent. Pero alam nating isosceles siya. So therefore, to get the measure of each one of these, you just have to, and remember triangle 180 yung sum. 180 degrees minus 132 divided by 2, kasi dalawa sila, gives us 24 degrees. So letter A po yung tamang sagot natin. Okay, salamat po. I hope na nakuha po natin. 24 degrees, letter A. All right. In the figure, AB and AC is equal to 10 cm and BC is 12 cm. Of course, it means that your ABC here is isosceles. If D is a point on AC such that BD is perpendicular to AC, how long is BD? A, B, C, or D? Okay, may sumagot ng D, 6/5. May sumagot ng A, 48/5. Sino nga kaya ang nagsasabi ng tamang sagot? How about the others po? Okay, baka they're shy. Okay, so ito po yung ginawa ko. Yung ginawa ko po is, di ba, knowing that A, B, and AC are equal, it follows that A here is a vertex angle. So what I did was, from the vertex angle, I dropped a perpendicular or I drew the height. And meron po tayong theorem, no, that if you draw uh, an altitude through the vertex angle, of an isosceles triangle, then parang kape po yan. 4-in-1. Kape na 4-in-1. Bakit? Isang line, pero apat yung purpose. As an altitude, it creates right angles. As an angle bisector, it divides this angle BAC into two parts. So this angle here, acute angle here, is also equal to this acute angle here. Also, as a median, it divides BC into two parts. So they are both 6 cm. And also, it's a perpendicular bisector. That's why we have this right triangle here. I let X to be the length of the height. And of course, no, by the Pythagorean theorem, kasi nga meron tayong right angle, that would be 6 squared plus X squared is equal to 10 squared. So that's 36 plus X squared equals 100. So I subtracted both sides by 36. So X squared is 64. So it follows na I get the positive square root, so X is 8. So ito po, 8 ay yung haba niya. Pero we're not able to solve the problem yet. Remember, there's a point P on AC such that BD is perpendicular to AC, di po ba? But we know that the area of this triangle, di ba, yung base mo, just like yung kanina, yung base mo 12, yung height mo 8. That's why 12 times 8 divided by 2. Base times height divided by 2. In a similar manner, kasi nga perpendicular si BD at saka kay AC, AC could serve as the base and BD could serve as the height. That's why 10 base times height BD divided by 2. And these two have to be equal. The left side simplifies to 48. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 5 times BD is 5 BD. And dividing both sides by 5, we get the length of BD as 48/5 centimeters. Letter A. So sa lahat mo nang sumagot ng A, edi wow, you got it right. All right. 67. How many triangles are there in the figure? Is it A, 21, B, 25, C, 30, or D, 33? Okay. Ano ginawa niyo? Binilang niyo ba isa-isa? I'm curious po. Did you really count one by one? Okay, but so far we have people who answered letter C and we have people who answered letter A. Sabi ni Sir Chad, opo sir ha. Okay, kinount po daw isa-isa. But actually, counting is okay, no? But actually you could also solve this using combination. Combination problem pwede. Paano siya naging combination? Remember, the combination formula is MCR, which is equal to n or in some books, no, ito po yung notation nila, which is equal to n factorial all over n minus r quantity factorial r factorial. And you might be asking, anong connect? Tandaan po ninyo ha, dito. Sa kahit anumang pong triangle na ma-construct ninyo, this horizontal line or segment here will always be a side of your triangle. Nagets niyo po yung punto ko? Kahit anong triangle po yung i-construct nyo dito, there will be a horizontal segment. Halimbawa ito po yung triangle nyo. You see, may horizontal segment siya. So ito din, no? Kahit anong triangle yung i-construct mo or i-draw mo dito, there will always be a horizontal segment. So it's like asking na lang ourselves, 'di ba? So meron ka ng isa, pili ka na lang ng dalawang linya sa mga hindi vertical. So meron kang isa, dalawa, tatlo, apat, lima, anim, pito. So sa pitong yan, pipili ka lang ng dalawa pa, di ba? Kasi meron ka ng horizontal eh. That's why out of the 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you will choose two other segments to form a triangle. And by the combination formula, no, 7 combination 2, that's 7 factorial all over 7 minus 2 quantity factorial times 2 factorial. Your calculators can do the trick. You get 21. Letter A. Tama po kayo. Letter A. Sana all pinipili. Sige lang po. Pinili ka man niya o pinili niya ng o baka yung pinili niya yung iba, lagi po nating tandaan na kailangan po nating piliing maging masaya. Okay. Thank you. Letter A po. Sorry kung natabunan po. 68. What is the maximum area of a rectangle whose perimeter is 80 meters? 396, 399, 400, or 401? Letter C, yung sagot ninyo. Let's see if C is correct. If you answered letter C, tandaan po natin, a rectangle attains its maximum area if it is a square. Take note ha, a square, all squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles are squares. So, therefore, each side should be 80 meters divided by 4 or 20 meters. And to get the area of a square, di po ba? Alam natin na to get the area of a square using the side, that's just side square. So 20 meters quantity squared gives us 400 meters squared, letter C. Letter C po yan. Thank you. 69. In triangle ABC, let X be a point on segment BC. In triangle ABC, let X be a point on segment BC such that the ratio of BX to XC is 3:5. Find the ratio of the area of triangle ACX to that of triangle ABC. Did you go for 3/8, 5/8, 1/4, or 5/11? Many answered letter B. Tama nga ba si B? What do you think? Let's see. So this is how the figure looks like. This figure, by the way, is not drawn to scale. So we have triangle ABC, and there's a point X here. So the ratio. So for the meantime, I represent the length of BX as 3 units. I'll represent the length of XC as 5 units. Okay? And of course, the total is 8 parts. Kung inyo po mapapansin, saglit po. Saglit lang po ha. All right. By the way, is it still recording? Saglit lang po. Okay. All right. So kung inyo po mapapansin dito, If tandaan po natin ha, they have the same height. So I draw this perpendicular segment here. And you could see that although they have different lengths of bases, they have the same height. Okay? And from here, oh my, saglit ulit. Sorry. My apologies for that. Anyari. Okay. Is this meeting still recorded? I'm sorry for that. While waiting, we would like to thank our sponsors. Um, okay. So with that puno, if two triangles have equal heights, then the ratio of their areas is equal to the ratio of their bases. It's actually a theorem. So therefore, yung area, no? So yung base ng triangle AXC is 5. That of ABC is 8. Therefore, the ratio of their areas for sure is 5/8. Letter B. To those who answered B, you got it right. Okay. Next, 70. The ratio of the areas of two squares is 5:4. What is the ratio of the lengths of their corresponding diagonals? Did you go for 3:2, 5:4? Square root of 5:2, or 25:16? I can't help but notice many of you answered letter C. Tama nga ba sa letter C? Let's see. It's actually, again, another theorem that if you have two squares, the ratios of the areas of two squares is equal to the square of the ratios of their corresponding sides or of their diagonals. Tandaan po natin yan. That's why if we will square the length of D1, the ratio of the squares of D1 to D to the square of D2 is equal to 5:4. Ito po yung ratio ng kanilang areas. But of course, since we just wanted the ratio of D1 to D2, we will just get the positive square root of both sides. So the ratio of D1 to D2 is square root of 5, which is still square root of 5, and the square root of 4, which is 2. So the correct answer here is letter C. To those who answered C, great job, Paul. You got it right. All right. I hope it's clear. 71. How many non-overlapping squares are there? By the way, I forgot to tell you, that for this one, when we say non-overlapping squares, we refer to 1 by 1 here. Because if you have 2 by 2 or more, then they will be overlapping. What do you think? A, B, C, or D? Let me see your responses. Sum of odds daw, sabi ni Sir Chad. Okay, letter C, yun yung sagot ng karamihan sa atin. Tama nga ba kayo? Now, kung inyo po mapapansin sa figure 1, sa figure 0, I mean, meron ka lang 0 squared plus 1 squared or 1 squared in figure 0. Sa figure 2 naman, di ba, meron kang 5 squares? Pero pwede siyang i-express na sa figure 1, 1 plus 4. Ito, di ba? 1 plus 4. So 1 squared plus 2 squared. Sa figure 3 naman, meron kang 13 squares. Pero pwede siyang, yung 13 kasi pwede siyang ito, apat. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 2 squared. At saka yung may 9 na natira could be expressed as 3 squared. So take a look. And in figure 3, ano pong hula niyo sa figure 3? Anong two numbers po yung pwedeng i-add sa figure 3? That would be 3 squared plus 4 squared, di po ba? Which is 25 squares in figure 3. That's why if we are, kung figure 0, 0 squared plus 1 squared. Kung figure 1, 1 squared plus 2 squared. Kung figure 2, 2 squared plus 3 squared. So kung figure 3, 3 squared plus 4 squared. So ano kung gagawin natin kung sa figure 99? That would be 99 squared plus 100 squared, which simplifies to 19,101 squares, letter C. Okay, thank you po. May Caltech daw, sana all. 72. What is the slope of a line perpendicular to 2x minus 3y equals 6? Did you go for negative 1/2, negative 3/2, 2/3, or negative 1/3? Okay, so let's see, no? So there are many ways of solving this problem, no? I'll just show one of them. And remember that if we have lines that are neither horizontal nor vertical, then the product of the slopes of these two lines should be negative 1, or their slopes are negative reciprocals of each other. So if we solve for this, no, if we will express this in slope-intercept form, so we solve for y, so I added negative 2x both sides, so negative 3y is equal to negative 2x plus 6, dividing both sides by negative 3 gives y equals 2/3 x minus 2. Ito po yung ating slope-intercept form. At kung makikita po natin, no, this line has a slope of 2/3 and a slope on a y-intercept of negative 2. Pero gaya nga po ng sinabi natin kanina, two perpendicular lines, what I mean here is that none of them is horizontal nor vertical. Two perpendicular lines have negative reciprocal slopes of each other, or the product of their slopes is negative 1. Thus, ano po ba yung, when we say negative reciprocal, so reciprocal siya, pero ipagpalit mo yung posisyon ng numerator at denominator, pero palitan mo din yung sign. Yung positive maging kung positive siya, yung negative reciprocal niya ay negative. Kung negative siya, ang negative reciprocal niya ay positive. So, the negative reciprocal of 2/3 is negative 3/2. And that is letter B. All right. Next number, I hope na nakuha po natin. 73. A line passes through negative 2, 5, and K1 and has an x-intercept of 3. Find the value of K. Tama ka, Sir Chad, no? Hanggang sa pinagpalit na. Okay. Is it A, 2, B, 1, C, 3, or D, 4? Okay. Paano nga kaya ito? Okay. So take note po. Di ba sabi dito, you notice na it has an x-intercept of 3. If it has an x-intercept of 3, it follows na, syempre, di ba yung sa x-intercept, it follows that the value of y is 0. Kasi sa x-axis, it's understood that if a point is located on the x-axis, then its y-coordinate is understood to be 0. That's why we could say, no, that the points negative 2, 5, 3, 0, and K1 are actually collinear. Therefore, all of these 3 points need to lie on one line, one straight line only. And take note that if you have one line in a Cartesian plane, any 2 points, any pair of points you get, and solve for the slope, you will get the same slope all throughout. So thank you po. So in my case, I chose this. Remember, I have this point, no? So the slope, diba? Change in y over change in x. So 0 minus 5 all over 3 minus -2. So we have here. And I also chose to get the slope of the point 30 and k1. That would be 1 minus 0 all over k minus 3. I hope na nakuha po ninyo. Yung una po ditong part po, kinuha ko yung slope ng first at second point. Dito po sa right-hand side, kinuha ko po yung slope ng third at saka ng second point. In fact, any two will do. With that, the left-hand side simplified to -5 over 5 equals 1 over k minus 3. The -5 over 5 is -1, and I just copy the right-hand side. Then I multiplied both sides by k minus 3 to clear off fractions. And -k equals plus 3 equals 1. And 2 here is the value of k, letter A. Okay. Yes po, Sir Chad, no? So Sir Chad mentioned there na nag-alpha calc siya. Yes, pwede po, no? So you have your calculator technologies, and if you have your Caltech, and I believe you will have your Caltech po, no? In the after we discuss all the 161 to 200 later on, or next time, I mean, you will have your separate Caltech session po, no? So please be ready with your calculators then, because your exercises will be dependent on the calculators. Okay, thank you po. Next, 74. Find the distance between two parallel lines having equations 3x minus 4y minus 10 equals 0 and 3x minus 4y minus 20 equals 0. Did you go for 10, 5, 4, or 2 units? Okay, many answered letter D, which is 2. Let's see. Meron po actually tayong theorem, no? In fact, in analytic geometry, the distance denoted by D between two parallel lines of the form ax plus by plus c sub 1 equals 0 and ax plus by plus c sub 2 equals 0. You see, they are both in general form, and they differ only with the constant. And the formula is D is equal to the absolute value of the quantity c sub 2 minus c sub 1 all over the square root of a squared plus b squared. Yes po, tama po. May square root pa po, Sir Chad, ha? Careful po. And with that, in this case, our A, notice nyo parehas po sila, ho? So your A is 3, your B is -4, and this is your C sub 1, and this is your C sub 2. So with that, that's D is equal to -20 minus -10 all over the square root of 3 squared plus -4 squared. The numerator, no, simplifies to the absolute value of -10 all over the square root of 25, so that's 10 over 5, so that's 2 units. Therefore, these two lines are 2 units away. Letter D. Take note po, ha, if we are talking about two lines on the same Cartesian plane, then only parallel lines have non-zero distances. 75. The endpoints of the diameter of circle O are on 3, -2, and 5, 8. Find the equation of the tangent to circle O at point A. Did you go for A, B, C, or D? All right. Many answered B. Tingnan po natin kung tama nga ba kayo. Huwag po kayong mahiya, magtanong or or sumagot. Take note, in my case, I determine first the slope of uh the point 85 of 5/8 and 3 negative 2. Why? It's the slope of the line, it's the slope of your radius. Di ba? Sorry, these are your diameters pala, endpoints of your diameter. So the slope here is 8 minus negative 2 all over 5 minus 3. And that simplifies to 5 units as the slope of AB. But remember po natin, yung slope na 5 na to ay slope po ito ng ating diameter. But remember that a tangent and a diameter are perpendicular at their point of tangency or at the point of their intersection. Which means dapat yung slope ng line ng tangent ay negative reciprocal ng 5, di po ba? So therefore, the negative reciprocal is negative 1/5, 1/5 I mean, and it should pass at point A at 3, negative 2. I hope you could still remember the point slope form of a line, which is y minus y sub 1 equals m times the quantity x minus x sub 1. So 3 here is x sub 1, negative 2 is y sub 1, negative 1/5 is your m or your slope. By substitution, that's y minus negative 2 all over negative 1/5 multiplied by x minus 3. The left-hand side simplifies to y plus 2. And I distribute the negative 1/5 here. That's negative 1/5 x plus 3/5. And adding negative 2 both sides gives y equals negative 1/5 x minus 7/5, letter B. Very good. To those who answered B. 76. So ito po yung itsura niya. Okay? 76. A triangle has vertices 1, 3, negative 3, negative 2, and 4, negative 3. What is its perimeter? Determine its perimeter in units. Okay, A, B, C, or D po? Okay, many are convinced sa letter A. And actually, no, to get the perimeter of your triangle, given the 3 points on the Cartesian plane, you need to determine the length of each side using the distance formula, which is the square root of x sub 2 minus x sub 1, quantity squared, plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1, quantity squared. So here I will calculate the distance of AB. No? So you could refer back. So that's the square root of the quantity 1 minus negative 3 quantity squared plus 3 minus negative 2 quantity squared. Simplifying this gives you 4 squared plus 5 squared, and that's 41 I mean. And of course, you have to take its square root. So the length of AB is square root of 41 units. In a similar manner, if we will look for the length of BC, you will actually see that it's 5 square root of 2 units. And if we will take the length of CA, it's actually 3 square root of 5 units. Therefore, we know that perimeter. To get the perimeter, we just get the sum of the lengths of the 3 sides. Thus, the perimeter of the triangle is square root of 41 plus 5 square root of 2 plus 3 square root of 5 units. Letter A. Good job, everyone. Tama po. Questions or clarifications? If there is none, proceed po tayo sa number 77. Point M, which has coordinates 2, negative 3, is the midpoint of segment KJ. If K has coordinates 4, negative 1, Find the coordinates of J. Okay. Letter D daw. Nagkakaisa kayo. Now, let's see if tama nga ba si D. Remember that this is the formula for midpoint. So capital M, or that's the midpoint, is simply the mean of the two x coordinates, comma, the mean of the two y coordinates. That's why x sub 1 plus x sub 2 all over 2, comma y sub 1 plus y sub 2 all over 2. Pero, given po yung midpoint na 2, negative 3. Given din po yung x sub 1, y sub 1. Pero hindi po given si x sub 2, y sub 2. But by substitution, we have 2, comma, negative 3 equals 4 plus x sub 2 all over 2, comma, negative 1 plus y sub 2 all over 2. And dito na po tayo maghihimay-himay. Notice nyo po, sa ating left-hand side, 2 yung x. Sa left-hand side, 2 ang x, or yung abscissa, I mean. Sa right-hand side, 4 plus x sub 2 all over 2 yung abscissa. And since these two are equal, it means that this is our first equation, and negative 3 is equal to negative 1 plus y sub 2 all over 2, because they are both coordinates, or I mean ordinates. If we solve for the first equation po dito, multiplying both sides by 2 gives 4 equals 4 plus x sub 2. Subtracting for both sides gives you 0 as the value of x sub 2. All right. And for the second equation, negative 3 equals negative 1 plus y sub 2 all over 2. Multiplying both sides by 2 gives you negative 6 equals negative 1 plus y sub 2. So it follows na adding 1 both sides gives negative 5 as the value of y sub 2. And dahil nga coordinates yung hinahanap natin, dapat xy yan. So that's point J has coordinates 0, negative 5, letter D. Thank you po. 78. Consider the quadrilateral form by the points 0, 0, 0, 2, 2, 2, and 2, 0. What is the equation of diagonal AC? Did you go for y equals negative x, y equals x, y equals x plus 1, y equals negative x plus 1? Okay, letter B. Tama nga ba si B? May C, okay? Take note, no? If you have diagonal AC, you don't need the B and D. So you just have the point 0, 0 and the point 2, 2. Therefore po, if we have this, I'll get the slope. And using the formula m equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 all over x sub 2 minus x sub 1, we get 2 minus 0 all over 2 minus 0, or this simplifies to the slope of AC, which is 1. But take note, equation po ng line yung hinahanap natin. So kailangan po nating hanapin yung line na yon using the points slope form, which is y minus y sub 1 equals m times the quantity x minus x sub 1. So pinili ko po yung first point na 0, 0. Kung gusto niyo 2, 2, pwede din, but I prefer the 0, 0. So 0, 0 is both x sub 1 and y sub 1, and m here is 1. That's why y minus 0 equals 1 times the quantity x minus 0, and this simplifies to y equals x. Letter B. All right. I hope nakuha natin. 79. Express in general form, x plus 3 quantity squared plus y minus 1 quantity squared equals 4. Check nyo po si A, B, C, at saka si D. Saan po kaya dito yung tamang sagot? Okay, many are convinced of letter A. And to express this in general form, no? So we will just make the right-hand side, we will just square all the binomials there, expand them, I mean, and we will make the right-hand side 0 for now. With that, if you square x plus 3, I hope we know how to square a binomial. I believe no. So you square the first term, that's x squared, twice the product of the first and the second. 2 times x times 3, it's 3x times 2, which will be positive 6x. Then the square of the last term, 3 squared will be 9. In a similar manner, when I squared y minus 1 quantity squared, it gives us y squared minus 2y plus 1. But since our goal is to make the right-hand side 0, so this 4 on the right became minus 4 on the left here. And with that, rearranging the terms and combining like terms. So I have here x squared plus y squared plus 6x minus 2y. Then 9 plus 1 is 10. 10 minus 4 is 6 equals 0. The correct answer is letter A. Very good. And one more for tonight, number 50. Express in general form the graph of the circle as shown. Take a look at that graph. For the meantime, I think it would be good, no? If we assume that the center and the radius are all, the center have integer coordinates. The radius, I believe, is also integer here. So we have AT as letter A for some of you. We also have letter C for some of you. All right. Let's see kung sino yung tama. Take note, you could see from this image that the center has coordinates what? Coordinates -1, -2. And if this is your center, the radius is 2 units. Di po ba? So with that, I have here this given. And we know that the equation of the center radius or the standard form of a circle is x minus h quantity squared plus y minus k quantity squared equals r squared, where hk are the coordinates of your center and r is your radius. So here h is -1, k is -2, and r is 2. By substitution, it becomes x minus -1 or x plus 1 quantity squared plus y minus -2 or y plus 2 quantity squared equals 2 squared. And of course, employing again the squaring of the binomial, this binomial simplifies to x squared plus 2x plus 1 plus the second binomial simplifies to y squared plus 4y plus 4, and this here is also 4. Rearranging the terms and adding -4 both sides para maging 0 yung right-hand side, it will give us x squared plus 2. Okay, in this case, I just subtracted the 4. And rearranging them, we have x squared plus y squared plus 2x plus 4y. Then 1 plus 4, the 4 minus 4 is 0. So we have here 1 left, plus 1 equals 0. If you answered letter C, you got it correctly. I hope you learned something for tonight. Thank you very much, and a great day to one and all.